Your deacon is preparing for his sung mass. Thank you, deacon. So, brothers and sisters, the shepherd lays down his life. He knows me, calls me by name. In the seminary, we had this great professor who was very practical, would tell us stories about when he lived in Israel and how his professor, when he was studying the scriptures, living in Israel, would ask them to go around. For example, if they were studying about the shepherd, would ask them to go and spend time, with the shepherds. And the university would organize those trips for them and those times for them. And he would tell us that every student that came back, and when they started analyzing the sheep and the shepherd would always tell them that the sheep is so dumb, that the sheep is so stupid. And when these students would question why, then they would give several examples. See, the yard is broken. The gate is open. They're running this way. The wrong way to go, right? I know when you hear Jesus calling us sheep, it's very insulting, isn't it? In the context of the Israelites, to be called dumb, to be called stupid, right? It can be insulting. At the same time, there is a reality into this statement. They may be really very stupid animals. So when we need, so when we listen and when we reflect on the scriptures, Jesus is comparing us to that sheep. It's something very insulting, as I said. Am I that stupid? Am I that dumb? You begin to question. But there's something beautiful understanding of realizing that it is in this kind of stupidity, that is in this kind of dumbness, that we are helpless. So instead of getting insulted by the comparison, we find ourselves more realizing that we are that kind of sheep. When the Lord teaches us to go one way, we've gone the other way around. We have hurt ourselves. We've hurt our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones because of our actions. How many times I've heard people tell me, whether it's in the confessional or when I work with them on their nullity of their previous marriage, I was dumb. I was stupid. I was too young to make those decisions. I don't know why I even decided to get married at that age. Find ourselves realizing more and more in that context. All throughout my life, personally, there are so many dumb, stupid decisions I've made. And looking back, I regret them. I'm sure you think that way yourself. Made choices that I can't believe I made in those past days of my life. But the Lord, the shepherd, wants to direct us on a new path, on the right way, on a way that might hurt us, but He's going to be there to protect us. When we read the verses in today's gospel today, what does Jesus say? He says, I know mine and mine know me. My sheep hear my voice and they follow me. The whole context of the Good Shepherd story is that the shepherd knows his sheep and the sheep know their shepherd. How does that happen? By spending time together with the shepherd. Spending a lot of time, in fact. And there is that great line in today's gospel reading that says, I know my sheep by name. I know my sheep by name. There is the great reality of having that intimacy, that deeper relationship with the shepherd. To know the other by name in our own community, you see, it makes such a difference. And the Lord, the shepherd of our souls, know us by name. That's how intimate He wants to be with us. This requires us, on our part, to spend time with the shepherd. Jesus has made Himself available to us. I was talking few months ago with a couple that have around 8 kids or 7 kids and 8 on the way. And the mother was telling me what it is like to lay down one's life for the family each day, caring, getting kids ready for the school every day, getting kids ready to go to Mass every Sunday, getting the kids to bed every day. And she was talking about how these layers are like laying down one's life for one's family. We are called to tend to our family. In turn, we are called to be shepherds of the people under our care. So, for that to happen, Jesus has laid down His life for us. The first reading we hear today, what does Peter say? He says, you crucified Him. God raised Him. We are the witnesses of this. And this man, crippled man who has been raised, it happened because of the power of the risen Lord. Same power can act in our lives today. If we come to Him, we can spend our time as much as we want with Him, but if we don't let us be known by Him, if we don't let our guard down, then it's simply going to be impossible for God, who respects human freedom, to penetrate into our souls, into our being, to touch us, to heal us as He lays down His life for us. Beloved, we are called children of God, and indeed we are. The shepherd has laid down His life for us, and indeed that is true. How are we going to respond to this shepherd who has laid down His life for us? How are we going to let us be known by Him? To be with Him, to let ourselves be known, to let our guard down, and to let Him know me personally, intimately. There is a reality where when He invites us into this relationship of disclosure, we are going to let ourselves be known by the shepherd. We are going to trust the shepherd. We are going to follow His lead and let Him take us where He desires us to go. That is why, the shepherd always leads the sheep, because of our dumbness, because of our weaknesses, because we know we can easily be distracted and go on the wrong path that will hurt us. So this shepherd of our souls, Jesus Christ, is going ahead of us and leading us onto greener pastures. Are we going to trust the shepherd? Are we going to follow His lead and let Him take us where He desires us to go, which is heaven? A great question for us to wrestle with and reflect on this day will be to follow the Good Shepherd, will be to trust Him, and will let Him lead you onto the greener pastures. In the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Please rise and let us offer